Hello, and welcome to episode 6 of Funny in Theory. I'm Joshua Will, entertainment director with the St. Paul Saints.
I'm not happy with that intro. You didn't say what this podcast is.
Hello, and welcome to episode 6 of Funny in Theory, a St. Paul Saints baseball promotional podcast about promotions here at St. Paul Saints baseball.
And no baseball.
No baseball. We'll not talk about baseball
Great.
at all. I'm Joshua Will, the entertainment director here with the St. Paul Saints.
And I am Skare Bailey, director of marketing and promotions.
We are now 11 games away from the end of the 2021 season.
Yep, 54 down.
54 down. 2 years ago at this mark,
We would have been in playoffs.
we would have been in playoffs. Right now, we are just enjoying 2 weeks of non-game days.
Yes.
What have you been doing?
The Saints have a booth at the State Fair that everyone has to take shifts working. So I've been there once, back again tomorrow at the State Fair. Lovely, lovely place just to see all walks of life.
All walks of life.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
How many times does someone walk up to the booth and go, "Can I have tickets? Can I have tickets? Can I have
No.
tickets?" Oh, really?
Can I have the hat? Because it's speed pitch. It's $2.
Okay.
You see your speed for the first 2 throws. The third throw, you get to guess your speed, so to speak. And if you get it right, you get a hat. It's just a hat. How many people just say, "Can I just buy the hat?" It's $5. Well, it's only $2 to play the game. Yeah, well, you probably aren't going to win if you play the game. So,
Oh.
but you never know. We have winners, and sometimes little kids, they just keep trying and trying and trying. I just give them the hat finally. And also, even if they're not correct, like behind the scenes, I'll give them the hat.
I did
If
that.
somebody else sees that, then they want it too.
Right.
But it's like, but your face isn't cute like that kid's. So no, you don't get a hat just because.
Just the cute kids get hats.
Yeah. And then the nice ones.
My oldest son, we went to Valley Fair on Sunday. Oh, God, that was just so... They have I don't want to call it a contest, but a booth. And it just says you have to hang from like a chin-up bar
Ooh.
for 90 seconds.
Oh, that sounds difficult, actually.
It is, and
Do you get grip stuff?
So, no, you don't get grip stuff. You can either do traditional, you can do, like a pull-up grip, a chin-up grip, so you turn your hands around.
Yeah.
You can't
do switch grip?
You can't do switch grip.
Wow,
You're
that would
allowed,
be hard.
You're allowed to readjust your grip, but you can't change the position of your grip. My hands, by the way, are going back and forth like radars right now. And I said to my son, you can't do it. These things aren't designed for you to win.
Wow, that's really... You can't do it, son.
I didn't quite say it like that. I said, you absolutely can't do this, son. and when he got there, it's not a bar that you can put your hands around. You can't touch your fingers. It is so thick that you're basically hanging on by your fingertips.
Do people actually win at this?
He was the only one all day I saw on it. And within about 10 seconds, it's a metal bar, so your hand starts sweating.
Yeah.
So he's kind of going back and forth. And then you can just see that the hands are... And I felt really... And he got done. He looked at me and said, you were absolutely right. This is not meant to win.
You felt... On the outside, you're like, "Aw, I'm sorry," but on the inside, you're like, "Told you so."
No, I really wanted him to do it because it was something he wanted to do all day. It was $5 for one try.
Oh, what?
Yeah, and you know, my daughter the whole time too was like, "I want to play the ring toss. I want this." I'm like, "I would rather just buy you the thing. Let's find it on Amazon or Wish.com or whatever."
Because that's fun.
But it's also it doesn't stink like.
You want to play the game of Amazon Prime today?
Here we go. Here's your thing. Just go run around.
All
the
right.
block.
If you find this in 20 seconds, we'll buy it for you.
The thing too is whenever I look on, especially when I'm buying for promo things, the minute I buy something, I always find something that's a little bit better and a little bit cheaper immediately after it.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter how long I look for it. It could be 30 seconds or 30 minutes.
I had to buy adult diapers the other day, and my things you are recommended to buy after that, it's totally ruining my Amazon algorithm. They weren't for me, by the way.
Yes, that's what I wanted you to go back and say. I was assistant directing a show at a college once, and they had giant screen projections behind it instead of set pieces. So we'd just go find pictures, and that would be our set piece. And I had to find dorm rooms, and I typed in girls' dorm room. Don't do that on the family computer. Is really what I want to get to. Let's talk about why you had to buy adult diapers this week.
We are switching up a promotion.
The promotion we've spent a lot of time talking about here on this.
Probably too much time.
It was. The video that was put forward was fantastic, guys. It was so good. But
R.I.P. M.I.B.
Yeah, exactly. The Miracle of Birth race.
M.O.B.
is no
Miracle
more.
in birth.
We had to change it up after the powers that be decided that throwing babies back up to the concourse was not the best representation of their product.
Yes.
So we changed it so it just became a traditional race.
Yes.
Where we ran through, and I was very proud of this, the umbilical bungee cord finish line. But what was the final nail in the coffin for it?
Just the throwing the babies part. Just because they understood that when we used to do the Regents bed race, dummies were being thrown around, but shaking an adult-sized human isn't necessarily a thing. Shaking babies is, and so it was too close to that, and so they totally understood. So it's changing from that to let's just embarrass the heck out of an adult and treat him like a baby. So it's the big baby race now.
So we were talking before the podcast began. We're going to you said, let's do it once and see how it works. But should we tell people what we're thinking?
I mean, sure. We'll already have done it by the time this epi comes out.
Oh, that's true. Okay. Unless it comes out tomorrow. We're just going to skip from episode 4 to episode 6? No? Okay. So
wild cards.
The new big
Could you
baby
imagine
race.
if they did that?
Just, what are you talking about today?
outrage of the 4 people who listen to this? They'd be like, what happened to them talking about George Samus? They just said they were going to talk about George Samus. And now we're listening to them talk about changing the Regents race.
Wow, we got some angry viewers or listeners, yeah.
Yeah. Sassy.
So the sassy listeners, tell us about the big baby race.
Okay, so the big baby race will be 2 teams of 2. It will consist of one of them coming out of the birthing canal still, but
it's not horizontal.
Yes, it'll be on the ground, and they will have to crawl through, and then they have to get assistance to put on an adult diaper, and then they head into a red wagon where they have to finish baby food, a jar of baby food before they cross the finish line. And all of that's pretty much just going to be arced behind the infield dirt, kind of like the tire race.
So is a person outside the birthing tube like the Abdullah, just there to catch the...
I mean, you would think that the other person is having the child? I don't know.
Are we going to go with any bonnets or any of the...
We can.
Okay.
Either way.
I think it'll be fun.
Yeah. So we got to figure out what baby food is like, not disgusting, but not like enjoyable for the person.
It always, you would think carrots, mashed carrots, not a big deal. Mashed peas, not a big deal. But I tried it all the time with my kids, and every time it's like, oh God, no wonder they hate this stuff.
Dang, then we need to find something like maybe
Yams?
like applesauce.
Apples, yeah. You can also
like I hate applesauce, but
oh, you hate applesauce.
I don't like apples.
Okay.
I like apple juice though.
Ooh,
apple cider, disgusting.
I can't. I'm not a warm apple cider. I'm okay with in like the winter and stuff
Isn't
like that.
cold apple cider apple juice?
No, apple juice I don't care for, but we're also talking like a little cinnamon stick, maybe some alcohol in there. So my version of that.
Oh.
But you know what I hate is cider. I try to like
cider beer.
Yeah, no, like cider alcoholic drinks. It always just tastes like to me. I just.
I actually don't mind ciders.
I don't.
Depends.
I used to love them, and then one day I was like, no, I don't like this. It's gross and it gives me a headache.
Okay. Well, that's because you had 9 of them.
Well, yes, but that's neither here nor there. Hey, we play this game called Will You Bail? One of these that Sarah and I have been talking about for years, and I think we tried it for the first time this year.
Yes.
And it's basically just an opportunity to create the worst combination of craft beer flavors.
But also, they're not that bad. After everyone has them, they're like, that actually wasn't that bad. You know why?
Because they're chugging it so fast they don't taste it.
Well, that and people drink and eat at the same time anyway, so it's really the same thing.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I think if we were... What are some of the flavors we've come up with this year? That we had
you did the orange juice and the toothpaste?
Orange juice and toothpaste, so they
watermelon juice and barbecue sauce.
Oh, God, that smell... it bubbled up like a cauldron at when I put everything together. And that's the one I think had the worst reaction, because I think if we made a chunky beer, something that they didn't just like throw down their throat, they'd be okay with, but something that's like got stuck there, and I think that'd be a lot funnier.
I'm trying to think, what if a brewery did a chunky beer? I mean, they'd probably be the first one to do it. I don't know.
Just the idea of chunky beer, oh no, like a chunky soup. It's a beer that eats like a meal.
Yeah,
it's going to be really gross. And we've also done that with we did that with food this year too. So we did the Sam Burger, the George Sam Burger.
Oh yeah.
And that was it was a Chick-fil-A sandwich with an ice cream sandwich on it.
Yes.
Which actually, like you said, those are things you'd have at a picnic, and they would drip together on a paper plate anyway. So yeah.
People go to and get milkshakes with their chicken sandwiches all the time. So, same thing.
It was fun they also we make sure the camera's up close so that they can see people just kind of going through it. And I think my favorite part of those promos are when we list the ingredients and you hear the entire audience go, ugh. So I brought...
Oh, boy.
I'm not going to show you the ingredients here.
Well, are those Japanese?
I think these are Chinese, but they're Lay's potato chips. And I'm gonna give these to our producers here, Joey and...
Have you tried them?
Jordan as well. Yes. But I'm not going to tell you what they are.
Do I get to smell it?
Yeah. So, see now.
Oh, I didn't. Sorry, that
That's
was
okay.
really loud.
I
didn't know I wasn't supposed to see that part.
That's okay.
Why?
Give it a. She has a bag of chips in her hands.
Was I supposed to try and guess it?
Yes, that's okay.
I want to hear my crunches.
Okay, crunch it.
Wow. It's crazy how much it tastes like that, but it is not good.
So these are beer flavored potato
what the
chips,
heck?
which honestly taste like
Yes, it does.
potato chips at
It
beer.
tastes like a flat, like Miller Lite.
Exactly, but there's some potato chips behind it. So I'm gonna hand these off to our producers right now, and we're gonna describe their faces. I can't see Joey's here, so.
Do you get buzzed off of them?
Nope, there's no alcohol content in it.
There's literally no point to those chips.
Except for the packaging,
they're
which is kind of
cheersing.
funny.
Yeah.
Cheersing, okay. Jordan and Joey.
Joey looks like she's not going to finish it. Jordan will finish anything.
They're not awful, but they're not good. Yeah.
There's just no point.
Okay, so we just had some beer-flavored potato chips.
She puts it back in there. Do people... So where did you buy those?
I went to an Asian market by our house, and they'll have shrimp-flavored potato chips. They'll have octopus ink, squid ink. And this one, the packaging is fantastic. I love stuff like this, but...
What the heck do people eat in the Asian markets? What in the world?
This is disgusting, which is why I was like, you should get some water for the rest of this.
I'm really upset about this Asian market. Squid ink?
Yeah.
What does that taste like?
Okay,
Did you try it?
I did not try it there, but I have had squid ink nuggets at McDonald's in Japan. It's very salty. And then...
Well, yeah, because I imagine ink to a squid is like blank to a male.
And so that was the beer potato chip challenge. Moving on in this podcast. Well, I would imagine female squids. That's their defense mechanism. We have not talked about baseball at all, and that's the point of this podcast.
Wow, my eyes are watering.
These are the things we try to bring to life on field with the Will You Bail?
Okay. Great.
Okay.
What's the topic this week?
We do a lot more at CHS Field, promotion-wise, than just what you see in between at the innings of the games. And I kind of wanted to talk about that, and also kind of the evolution of why we do what we do. I would imagine that if you went to a baseball game, whether it's independent league or major league games in the 1910s, 1920s, 1930s, you got there with your bowler hat. You know, you had a suit on the entire game, and you watched a game, and that was it. Mm-hmm. And then somebody somewhere said we should welcome these people. And then while these people are waiting, there should be some entertainment. But talk about all the I want to talk about all the different things we do pregame And what we do for the fans from the minute the gates open, which is an hour and a half before the first pitch. And so, like, first of all, like reading tree.
Yep. On Sundays.
On Sundays. To talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so we work with Mackin Educational Resources. They are usually the ones that provide the author, sometimes the illustrator as well. And then they'll come out on a Sunday before the game, 20 minutes. They're down in the right field corner, and they read their book to kids that want to come out. It's for, you have to pay extra. If you're a kid and you're at the game of the day and you're there already, come on down to the field, listen to a story. And then you also get to talk to the author about, writing the story or different things like that.
So we're helping to promote not only local authors, but local illustrators as well. Sometimes they'll come out.
Yep. And it used to be pandemic. Still can't do this yet because of protocol with players. But usually there's a player or a coach that's out there as well, kind of talking their thoughts on reading and why it's so important and how reading helps them still to this day as an adult, different things like that. So
a little community outreach before Sunday games, obviously promoting the local artists, but a chance for the kids not only to be on the field, but a little pre-game entertainment.
Right. Pick the grass a little too.
How often do we do Princess Days? I usually find out about those when I see them walking around.
Usually just once a summer. Yeah.
But they are dolled up to it's all the Disney princesses are out there.
Tinkerbell definitely sounds like Tinkerbell.
Tinkerbell doesn't talk.
She does in person here.
There we go.
And she throws a first pitch. Not this year, though.
Yeah.
It's a different one.
Field of Dreams.
Yes, Field of Dreams is a little league team that gets to play catch on the field before the game. And then in a normal year, they run out with the players to each position. So usually there's 1 or 2 kids per position. And they run out when that player is announced. And they also get announced. This year, again, kind of got to listen to minor league baseball protocol when it comes to fans and players interaction. So they still get introduced right before the players do, but they're not able to run alongside of them.
And visually, it's really cool because you have this full-grown adult athlete and you got this little leaguer next to him.
Yeah.
And when all 18 of them are out there, plus the umpires and everything, it's a really cool.
Yeah, and they stay out there for the anthem.
I was just about to say that. Yeah, that's really. Sometimes they'll do batting practice out there too. You'll see the interns out there throwing balls.
That's called a league outing.
Okay.
So it's not just one team, but it could be all teams from a specific league. So Parkway Little League. So you'll have kids of all different ages and sizes, and that one you get to play on the field for a half an hour before the game. And you're not just playing catch, but we'll set up different hitting stations. Sometimes we'll do pop fly stations for them to catch ball, but some of them are small, not a lot of kids, and some of them have hundreds of kids on the field before the game. So
we talked before about how there will be an in-game script from first pitch to the 9th inning and beyond. We'll have stuff ready to go if we need to. But you also create an entire pregame script.
Yes.
Let's talk about that a little bit. And that's kind of what I was talking about before about now we're leading up to the show. So we're not just national anthem and going. We're actually prepping the crowd to get ready.
Yeah. There's the things that you do every single game before the game. We're always going to do some of the videos we have to show and some of the reads. Kind of some of them are just letting people know, hey, in the 3rd inning, this is happening. A little bit more information on that. So we always have some of the stuff that stays the same every single game, pregame wise. There are different things nightly that can, or if it's a day game, happen. So maybe we have to do a check presentation because it's the end of the season, and for Cub hits, Cub donates $5, I think, to the Ronald McDonald House. So at the end of the season, we tally it all up for how many runs or hits were had that season, and then they'll do a check presentation with the Ronald McDonald House out on the field. So things like that can kind of come up. It depends on the theme of the night too. So coming up, Military Appreciation Night, we're doing a military swear-in before the game is going on. So that kind of dictates timing as well. We usually start around a half an hour before the first pitch. But if we have a lot of things that are out of the ordinary happening pregame, then we'll need to back it up a lot to make sure that we're still having time to introduce the ushertainers and still also make sure that the game starts on time for the starting pitcher.
Right. We've talked about how we need 90 seconds in between the innings for our promos as well. But I do believe that half
Nicholas
hour.
Lehman can do anything in 90 seconds.
Woo. But we have to make sure that we get that first pitch off at 5 minutes after the hour.
Yeah.
And so if we're falling behind, or this has happened maybe once or twice where something is thrown at us pregame and said we have to fit this in, and we'll be like, we didn't know that happened.
Yeah.
It's not particularly stressful, but it's like, okay. Then you got to kind of readjust your thinking, and everyone has to go on the fly. And then it's very funny too when those things happen. You see all eyes kind of looking at you. So earlier on in the season, it was a little more difficult because you were in center field. Now you're back in your position right in front of the PA table, but so much going on pregame. And we're also talking about first pitches. We're talking about introducing the entertainers, introducing Madonna, introducing the ball pig, feeding the ball pig, the umpires, the starting lineups. All of this stuff is all happening. Boom, 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 including sponsor reads.
Yes.
And depending, and you said this before, in the theme of the night, there are things going around in the concourse, things that you and I may never see during the course of the game. But like when we had FBI night, 3, 4, 5 different tents around the...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. When we did DeLorean night earlier this year, we had a DeLorean come in, and that's a kind of a pregame thing. Go take a picture with that. I remember
a car, not a grandma.
Not a grandma. And the
Grandma DeLorean.
One of my first games here, and when it was done, I thought this is going to be an awesome job, was Jurassic Park night.
Really?
And so I reached out to a bunch of cosplayers, and someone in Minnesota had the Jurassic Park Jeep.
Oh, yeah.
So to watch that drive from center field to right field to home plate, but we had the inflatable dinosaurs behind it.
Yes.
Just a silly looking thing, but it was like that, and people cheered for a car going 2 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And that's really cool.
Yeah, that was for Minnesota Porks.
Yeah.
Jurassic Pork Night.
Jurassic Pork Night. Let's talk about themes throughout the years. When you started, or even going back earlier, did we have a theme for every single game, or has that become...
No, yes. Ever since I've been here, and I want to say that started happening probably a couple of years after the Saints started. I know they didn't have one every single night, but I've seen pocket schedules from back in the 90s. I don't know when it exactly started where every night had something, but...
Looking back, what have been some of your just absolute favorite? This is our theme of the game. Some of them are going to be, we've got Treasure Island Saturdays, so that's our tropical theme.
That's a day of the week theme.
Right. So we're going to have some of them that are very standard, but we're going to have some standalones as well to celebrate either anniversaries or movies that have been on for 30 years, or something that's happening this week, or
Oof. I mean, all of our big ones, like where we did the largest food fight or largest game of Twist around the field, those were great. Theme-wise, man, I mean, I loved Sologamy night, where we all got to marry ourselves, and then the anniversary of marrying ourselves. Those are good ones. I'm trying to think.
I will say, I want to talk a little bit about Twister night, because that happened literally the day after I was offered the position, and I heard about it. And I wasn't able to come to the game. But can you tell me how many people came down to the field? What did it look like? Was it just chaos? Was it fun?
It wasn't chaos. There was probably less people that came on the field than we were hoping for, or that would have stayed. The game was so long. It was one of the longest games, I want to say, of the season.
Oh, okay.
So we lost a lot of people. And forgive me, I don't know the day of the week. I want to say it was a Tuesday. So it's a Tuesday night in August. I mean, we're not going to have a late staying crowd in the first place. But we did have, I want to say, hundreds, if not maybe even a low 1,000 people out there playing while what's it, the board? You spin it, flick it.
Yeah,
bop it. Not bop it. Sorry.
Yes.
We should play Bop It on here.
That'd be good. I've got 3 different versions of that at home.
Wow.
One of them is just pull it, yank it, crank it, shake it, and it's
suck
just...
it.
Nope. And I remember I'm so far getting back into that lane so fast. I remember after Twister, and right before that too, was Princess Bride night. So that was, this would be 2017.
That was a Brian Kelly baby. I've never seen the movie.
But it almost happened back to back. And I remember after Brian offered me the position, I was thinking, does this happen every night? And if so, how the hell do you...
To a point,
yes,
they do. There's always going to be a theme, but there's not necessarily always going to be different characters roaming around because it is said theme. Like Larry Doby Night, we don't have a bunch of Larry Dobies walking around.
Right.
That's not a great example.
No, I totally get that.
But
it was 2 weeks into my first season, and we had already done Stranger Things nights. So we had people.
People literally have to twist my arm to do that one. I think it is the worst show ever made.
I watched the first season. I got done with it. I was like, okay, that was great, but I've never watched it.
I was
since
so
then.
mad at Jordan. He told me to wait till the end because the end's really good. The end was just as bad as the first 7 episodes. I'm not a big sci-fi person, probably, and gosh, I'm getting so worked up about this right now. Everyone's like, but it's the kid actors, they're so good. What? Why? They're not that good. They're acting. Well, I've seen other good kid actors, and nobody Jerry Maguire, that kid's dang adorable. You don't hear them talk about Lipnicki. I think that's literally his last name. I think so. Jonathan Lipnicki.
Okay.
They don't talk about his great performance. I'm Googling it.
Do you want to do a Jonathan Lipnicki night next year, and we can just have a bunch of Jonathan Lipnickis walking around?
Jonathan Lipnicki appreciation. Wasn't he on Stuart Little too or something?
Yeah, he was. Yeah, it's just a kid with. He also reminds me of that kid from Back to the Robinsons. You know what I'm talking about? He just had the glasses with the big blonde hair. Jonathan Lipnicki. That's
before my time. Yeah, look at him now. Guess how old he is?
What? 32.
I'm older than him. He's 30.
Okay, that's close.
Jerry Maguire, Stuart Little 2, Little Vampire. I didn't see that one.
Little Vampire. I remember the DVD cover for that, yeah.
Guess how tall he is?
When he was little or now? At some point he was 4'2".
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm going to go with 5'11".
What? 5'7".
I'm taller than him.
Are you? I'm not. I'm 5'6".
5'7.5".
Wow. Got to get that half in there. You're like a 4-year-old. I'm 4.5. I turned 5 in 6 months. Anyways. Ooh, he's shirtless in this one. Wow, look at that. Look at that.
For those of you at home, I've just...
Why are you avoiding it? Look at...
Yeah. She is showing me a picture
Listeners, can you see this?
A shirtless Jonathan Lipnicki.
Listeners wouldn't be able to see it because you're just listening. Watchers.
He's got muscles. We have lost Sierra completely here.
I'm not saying I find him attractive. I was just surprised that people surprise you every day. He was like a little nerd growing up, and now he likes to push heavy things.
To recap right now.
We haven't talked
Sierra
about
called
baseball
me a 4-year-old, and then showed me a picture of her. What do you think of him? He's fine. He's nice. This is really
what were we talking about?
We were talking about...
Oh, every night is like a big production.
Yes. It was 2 weeks into my first season when I asked you specifically, I'm like, do we have to come up with something every night? You're like, no, if it works, that's fantastic. If not, we still have a game. It's like, oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God. Because there were some nights I'm just like, how are we... And this year has been a lot of fun in the sense of like, it's National Ice Cream Sundae Day. So what are we going to do?
Nothing.
Just make an ice cream sundae.
Yeah.
The whole is we're not going to have people walking around the concourse dressed as
churning ice cream.
Churning ice cream. Yeah. But can you think of some other just off the cuff nights that we did that I was scratching for the I'm giving a signal to the people at home. You know what this means.
We got 5 minutes left, and then we're gonna wrap it up.
Some of your favorites over the last couple of years.
What now? I was thinking about your themes. Didn't we just talk about this? Didn't I say Salagmi Night?
Yeah.
Oh, you want me to think more?
But we have.
I know.
Many games a season.
Sometimes I just like it because of the name. The Squad-a-lot-a-thon. Loved it.
I've never heard that. What's the squad? What's the Squad-a-lot-a-thon?
That was my baby. I wanted to do it back at Midway.
Okay.
I wanted to have the most people squatting at once. So for a minute, everyone got up and did squats, and it didn't come to fruition until like 2 or 3 years after I came up with the name of Squad-a-lot-a-thon. And Twin Cities Orthopedics. They were the sponsor. And we gave out the sweatbands. Have you seen those red, white, and blue?
Yes. Okay, that's what
from
those are
that
from.
night.
Okay.
And yeah, it was amazing. You should watch the video because I remember Andy Crowley played Hey Mickey when we did it.
Oh, that's great. Did you know that Hey Mickey isn't actually a cover? It was done by a male band, and it was like Hey Jenny or something like that. Lyrics are still the same, but they're all just gender swapped. So if you listen to it, it's just it's pure disappointment. She did
I
it much
didn't
better.
know that.
But that's a great song too. So I do want to watch the video because I'm thinking either everyone's squatting in unison, so up, down, or you just have randoms.
I'd say it's random.
Okay. I'm kind of hoping that there was at least a wave, just kind of.
I don't know. Let's just say some people did not have good squat form, but I was appreciative that they tried.
Heel on the ground, butt below parallel.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of hard too in your seats when like the seat flips up and then you're trying to squat and you just.
Oh, they're in the stands. Okay, I had a picture that everyone came out on the field.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Yeah, because we did it during a game.
Okay. And that's a great name. Was it this year or last year that I finally understood that Mudd's Dairy area that's a good name too. And I get.
You are welcome.
Yeah.
Saints fans, you are welcome.
Mudd's Dairy area. Coming up this season, I'm really excited for Duck Duck, Gray Duck.
Are you?
Yeah. Just because I want to hear everyone fighting over Duck Duck, Gray Duck, and Duck Duck Goose.
Maybe it's got a little less zest in my brain because we've already done it.
Oh, how did it go last time?
It was great. We had the Saints players wore Duck Duck Gray Duck, and then the visiting team wore Duck Duck Goose. But we auctioned all of them off.
But are we actually playing it? We're playing a game this year. Have we done that before?
Yeah, we didn't do that at all.
Yeah. Do you just imagine one person having to run around the entire circle?
Do.
Okay.
It's going to be on another night where we have food trucks on the field and super fireworks, so people are going to come down anyways. So this could be a big circle. It might just be the four of us in this room.
Okay.
I mean, we'll see.
It's been a long time since I played it. It's just hoping.
Tater would love to play. He'd totally chase you around.
And there's going to be one person just running across the middle of the circle.
Probably.
We had that for fireworks the other night. Did you see that?
No.
The two fans who jumped the fence.
Oh,
in
yeah,
right field.
I did actually. I almost chased him. But then I was like...
Yeah, they're done. It's fine. Just don't do
risk.
it again.
I don't know. The grass is wet sometimes. Our shoes are not... Now I understand why baseball players... The only baseball talk we are going to have this podcast. I understand why they wear cleats. You get a grip better.
Oh, absolutely.
So...
I've
had a kid slide tackle me on the field. It was last year. Do you remember?
Yep.
I had white pants on too. R.I.P. white pants.
R.I.P. white pants. How many people have jumped have you seen that have jumped the onto the field to slide across the tarp?
I haven't seen anybody.
Okay. I know
Halsey has done it before,
yeah.
but he worked for the Saints, so was it?
How far did he get?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
That's one of those
the
things.
The whole length, it was amazing. He went from one corner to the other corner, and it was just like, wow, so majestic.
No, I just imagine it was no matter just when you go down a pool slide, but it's not wet and you get stuck and then you flip over.
Oh.
Or me as the Best Buy box at the Target Center.
Yeah.
When I just ripped my knees open.
I guess so.
I thought we could slide. We absolutely couldn't. But we also do things after the game.
Sometimes.
We do last pitches.
Yep.
We talked about fireworks.
Yep.
Food trucks.
Yep.
Run the bases.
Yep.
This year we haven't had it, but we'll. And I've always found this just so generous of the team and the managers, and hopefully we can get back to it. Is sitting down and autograph sessions.
Yeah.
Have you noticed this season the comfortability has become more, and players are signing autographs, and I think the fans have really enjoyed that. But I think protocol kind of kept that away,
right,
from some people there. So, have you started thinking about next year at all in terms of promotions, or is this going to be like, let's just get through this year, take a couple of weeks off, and then we'll hit the grindstone as well? Sierra's just looking at me like, yeah.
I think the only thought I had was we have a game on Easter Sunday.
Really?
So I made a dumb joke that we should do something on the Friday before, but we're not going to.
Oh, gotcha.
Has to do with
East?
Religion.
Yeah. That'd be
but
inappropriate time to bring the atheist game back out.
Probably. That's literally the only thing I've thought of. Have you thought of anything for next year?
There's a couple I'm going to throw at you later on, but it's...
And those are usually the ones I say, well, we have one open day. Pick your favorite one out of those 4 options. That you
I
gave.
so enjoyed Lerfo Bastille Day this year.
I still don't know how to even say it.
It's no, it was just kind of silly. We have this roaming band of musicians that they constantly change. So if we're doing German night, it's 4 Germans, and if it's Irish night, it's 4 Irishmen. Despite the fact that we have a female in there, and then we had 4 Frenchmen. And
Well, with the times, I mean,
yeah,
it's great. It doesn't matter.
doesn't matter. They're gonna.
We had somebody at the state fair. Sorry, we're going. Phew, ask us why, because it's speed pitch, but we only had baseballs. Ask Joey was there. Why we didn't have? Oh, Joey, what did they call it? Girls fast pitch softball. And he was serious, and I was like, well, because we're a baseball team. And he goes, with the times, and I wanted to be like, first off, your argument is dumb, because with the times, girls can play baseball too. So
it's
the ball size
not
is what?
the same sport.
It's not the gender, it's the size of the ball. So great.
God. The
Back on.
back on.
Where were we?
I have no clue at this point. We're talking about promotions. The reason, again, that we do all this is, we want to give you that game, but we also want to give you that personal experience. So the stuff that we do pregame, we're getting people on the field for when we do promotions like trivia or the actual running around, the kind of the end of game. Stick around with us. It's still, we want you to walk away with a story, and I think that's a lot of fun. When you go to other ballparks, or like we were at Target Field, or I've talked about going to Target Center to see the Wolves. Sometimes for me, there's so much going on that I forget there's a game. That it's almost sensory overload. Have you ever been someplace, and I'm not asking you to call anyone out, where you're like, this is just not enough going on right now?
Or a ton.
Yeah.
A ton of ballparks do that, which that's fine.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I've ever been like, there's not enough stuff for me to look at right now.
Yeah.
But I've probably gone and been like, they rely a lot on the baseball, and when the baseball is not entertaining itself, I just feel like this game's dragging.
There is a game I just learned about that's in the Paralympics called soundball.
Is that like beep ball?
Is that where they have the
ball and it makes a noise?
Yes.
And they're blind, right?
a lot of them are sight impaired, yeah. So, but they'll actually put blindfolds over everyone, so everyone has the same advantage. And it's basically you have to roll a ball past a goalie, and it was the most amazing thing I've seen, because you see people tuned in, and I had a blast.
Yeah, when I was an intern for the Twins, pregame, it was pregame. We had a beep ball demonstration, and it was baseball, and they would just hear the ball when it was about to be thrown, I think, and then it would, I don't know, I don't remember it, but it was an actual, and we set up bases. They didn't use the real field. We went in the outfield and set up bases and everything, but it wasn't the first time they'd done this. They actually play games like this, and I was like, wow, this is great.
Yeah.
And you make me feel terrible because I can't even hit the ball when I can see it. So
the we were talking about fast pitch softball a little bit ago, and we had a couple softball players come out.
Girls soft pitch.
Girls soft pitch.
Softball pitch.
Softball pitch.
Girls fast pitch softball.
And Coach and I, Steve Heyman and I, will switch off doing first.
Supposed to give their real name.
No, I had 3 different people. We're 3 different people.
Oh my gosh, it's like a mascot. You don't know who's inside the costume because they're real.
If you go onto Coach's Facebook page, it says Steve Heyman. So we're not gonna.
Fine.
But I got him all scared before. I said, you've got girls soft pitch under here, that underhand. They're going to be coming. They're going to be throwing this thing at about 70, 80 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And she threw it overhand, and it went about 20 feet
over his head.
Over
his
head.
I mean, he is also a Jonathan Lipnicki size, but.
Jonathan Lipnicki. If you are listening, please, if anyone out there knows Jonathan Lipnicki,
I know.
Please send an 8x10 shirtless autograph photo to CHS Field, and we'll put it up.
Sure.
Yeah, for everyone to see.
Great. Maybe he'll be the new Rally Squirrel.
just showing nothing but abs on top of the.
Yikes.
Jordan, where are we at?
Yeah.
Well, I know we're in the
40.
studio.
See?
Where? What?
Root?
She's so nice to me. Is it real? I thought we were like 20 minutes.
Really?
Yeah.
Time flies when you're
Talking
not
about Squid
talking
Ink.
about. Yeah. Yeeks.
Do you know what uni is?
Yeah. Why do I? Yeah.
And you can get it on sushi.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll let you look at that up at home. Just another one of those. I was okay eating this until I found out what I was eating, and now I don't want to eat that. And here, I will not eat it in the States, but I've had actually uni from a convenience store in Japan, and it was fantastic because it just came out of the ocean. It wasn't put into the ocean and then frozen, and then shipped, and then thawed. It's basically like fish pudding, but it comes from a part of
What part?
I don't.
What part?
It's the gonads,
The balls.
fish balls.
We talked about a cow having birth. I mean, it's all anatomy, people. Wait, they have those?
What?
Fish have those?
Fish ball? No, the eggs. Yeah.
Oh.
No, they do it completely different.
Oh, so you ate the product of a miracle of birth race.
I basically did the reproductive uni of the sea urchin. Yes.
You really had me thinking that they had that anatomy, and I had no idea. Like, have you ever looked in a fish tank before? You don't see that.
No, because
They don't have them.
It's internal. If you watch like a salmon spawning video, the females lay the eggs, and then the men come by and they just kind of spray it, and then they move on, and then they turn that
Like
ugly
crops.
pink. Yeah, they crop dust the eggs. This is now the episode that got out of control.
Yikes. Okay.
Next week we're on Funny in Theory. We're gonna be talking about how to make your own cabana and live off berries and elk in Alaska, because that's how far away from baseball we have got at this point.
Well,
It's a show I've been watching called Alive. They just put people out in the wilderness in Alaska. They get 3 things. You can get like a net, a fishing net if you want, but it's not a. It's
I would
just-
never survive.
Oh, people you can tell within the first 3 days they give up. But there are people that are there for 60.
I wonder how long
Days.
Chris Robb could last, because he's going to Alaska again soon.
You got to. The thing is, you start worrying about nutrition because
yeah.
you're not getting your protein, but you're also not getting your vitamins, and you start suffering from really weird
Yeah.
ailments. But
And
you're
you're
by
probably
yourself.
cold.
You're cold, and these people are cheering when they trap a squirrel because they have something to eat that night. But they're eating again. They're eating everything, the brains, the guts, that they know what's good, what's bad, what they have to get rid of, what has the protein, what has what you need. And they make a soup and they make a tea. And the whole time I'm just like, oh, God, no.
Okay.
I can't.
Tea?
Oh, there's because
They have like a pot
Yeah,
that they can boil water.
they boil water and they find some herbs or whatever.
Tea's done.
No, it's just
My squirrel tea's done.
it's basically just this ugly bowl of water. And oh, it's so good. I'm so thankful for this food. This is where you think beer chips aren't that bad. They're still pretty awful.
Man, all right. You've opened my eyes to a world of shows that I thought you could only just date on reality TV. I didn't know that you could survive.
Nope.
Well, I guess there's Survivor, but I never watched that. Jordan loves that show. Shout out to Jordan for that one.
You get a walkie-talkie and you're like, come get me, I'm done. And only one person wins the $1 million. It's not like you're out there for 75 days and you're second place and you get $50,000. No, you just get really emancipated, and gout basically is this second prize winner. I'm Joshua.
Gout's on your foot, right?
Yes,
I'm
they're
Sierra
bone
Bailey.
spurs. And this has been Funny in Theory. If you liked what you heard, or if you could even put up with what you heard, please tell every single person you've ever met in your life about this. You can find this podcast wherever rambling podcasts are found.
Easier said than done.
It's
But also comment on what you think Rally Squirrel smells like.
this season he smells like failure. failure and disappointment.
Maybe we should change it up, and maybe you should be in Rally Squirrel cleaning.
Rally Squirrel cleaning?
Yeah.
Rally Squirrel cleaners. Where do you get this name from? Why are you bringing it in here?
That's your next job on your resume. Rally Squirrel cleaners.
I don't want to
Where
deal with this.
you
Why are you bringing this to me?
You perfect, like, all the mascots in town bring their costume to you, and you just clean them and you make them smell better.
Oh, speaking of, I forgot that Mud's in the washing machine.
No, she's not.
No, she's not. She's
at the library reading to children, but not saying a word and just turning the pages. We should be done.
Thanks for listening.
Okay, bye.
It's not strange for things to rearrange. No one to blame. It's all for the fun of the game.